see how he got it? Because we're talking smart, what y'all smart, what you do. Did y'all hear what he said? He said Atlanta's been trying to expand their airport. Yep, they were looking at Douglas, and they were looking at Gwinnett. They were looking to try to set up a second airport in Atlanta. All of that didn't happen. You think they're not making plans for this now? I'll tell you, I said online the other day in preparation for this class, and I started literally putting in, this is how I did my research. I put 2015, and I said, your future plans. And I started seeing all the stuff come up, and then I put 2016, and I put all these other things. By 2016, they expect the majority of the cars on the road to be all electric cars. They actually have a flying car in California, but they've been debating over the flying car because they don't know whether to give you a pilot's license or a driver's license. Exactly, that's my answer too. Give me both. So the whole idea is, Rod, you're around. Yes, sir. You said what car? Now, I love this type of question. The thing about it, the same guy, Richard Branson, he is actually, not only does he want to go to space, he wants to go to the deepest part of the ocean. So he is now building a submarine that's going to, and then he wants to start a tourist system that's going to be doing the same thing. It's going to tell you, imagine creativity, the brain is the most powerful thing. The best property you can ever own in this life is intellectual property. Your thoughts, your ideas, yes sir. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let's get a question. Now, personally, I'm definitely a science geek. And the thing about it, I love personal mechanics and personal science management. Yes, sir. Now, no, let me tell you, I did not have that email. But what he's asking is absolutely true. By 2050, NASA is now a science that they're going to make the first manned mission to Mars. And let me tell you what they already telling the astronauts now. And that may be y'all or your kids or your grandkids, right? What they already telling them now is, don't expect to come back. They already telling them that. But hey, that may be a trip for a ticket. Yes, ma'am. In other words, that don't mean you're going there now. They mean you're going to start a whole time. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Now, the thing about it is, remember I said there's 7 billion people in the world. On the right-hand side of that drawing, that same drawing, I want you to do one more thing. On the right-hand side, how many people are there in America? Yeah. I heard somebody say the show time, and 3,000 going to say it now. There's only 308 million people in the U.S. On the right-hand top, right-hand, I want you to put this. There are 308 million people in the United States. You can check census.gov and find all the information. 308 million people in the U.S. Now, the reason I say, we are a very important country, but we actually a very small country. A very small country. There are actually, let me tell you, remember I said there's going to be 7 billion people, they say, by the end of this month, right? So think about it. We only got 308 million. We missing some zeros. China by itself has over 1.4 million, or 1.4 billion people. Yes, 1.4 billion people. Now imagine trying to make plans for 1.4 billion people. Most of us on average eat anywhere from 2 to 3 meals a day. So you think about that. They probably do at least 2 meals a day. So that's about 3 billion meals a day. Just meals. Now imagine making plans for 1.4 billion people for 100 years. 100 years. You have got to set your plans high. I'm telling you, not just your goals and your dreams, the plans you want to get down to the details. That's what plans are. And as corny as it sounds, Earth is a what? Planet is. Yes, they plan it. It's planned, right? It sounds corny, but think about it. That's because plans go through cycles. They go through all the things. Plans, exactly. It's a plan. The whole thing about that is, again, it has been planning for a billion people for 100 years. Above 2020, I want you to write 2111. 2111. Remember, your generation, there's a generation on expected to be 100. You may easily see 2111. You may easily see it. Next to that, I want you to write the word China. I want you to write the word China. China has a 100-year plan for the entire country. The mayor of Atlanta has a 15-year plan. See, so the whole thing is that we think through these things, we really don't put a lot of thought into how more expensive. The legends they're trying to get they're trying to get the Super Bowl back here actually in 2016. They're trying to get off. Yeah, so they trying to do a new stadium and all these different things. They're talking about tearing down the dome. I said these are stuff they're planning on now. Yeah. Well, they're trying to understand. See, so you have to understand. Now think about it. When you go to college, whatever field of industry you want to be in, and we're going to even talk about those a little bit. Whatever field of industry you want to be in, you might not want to go to the moon, but I may take your music to the moon. I may take your movie to the moon. I may take your invention, your idea, your concept to the moon. I mean, take all these things. In other words, whether you go there or not, what you represent and who you are can travel that far. And there's right now, this is what they told us. They say there are 2 robots on Mars right now. They're constantly doing all these experiments on Mars. They've already released a satellite to go to Jupiter by 2015. It's supposed to be there studying the moon. They think that moon, one of the moons of Jupiter, they actually think it can sustain life. So we might not be going to Mars, we might be going to Jupiter. So there's a whole other set of things. Let's understand, the pathway that we travel. The pathway we travel, sometimes science defines it all. Science defines everything we get there. They're trying to do something. On those moons, on our moon, yeah, they talk about colonizing our moon. They talk about colonizing our moon. Now, I can sit there all day and just rattle off all these ideas and concepts about what the future will look like. We're going to come in a little bit closer. We're going to come in a little bit closer. And if we got time at the end, we'll answer some more questions. On that left-hand side, that's supposed to represent our neighborhood, our community. So do a favor. I give you money. On that left-hand side, I want you to write those words. Write them small, because I'm going to have you write some other stuff. Go ahead, a couple more. Neighbors on the left-hand side, your neighborhood, your community. In Atlanta, what's the population of Atlanta? You want to know what I mean? 5 million people. We got about 5. We almost got 6 million people, actually, so we'll say 6 million. We got 6 million people in Atlanta. We got 9 million in the state of Georgia. 6 million people in Atlanta, 9 million in the state of Georgia. Now, remember, you got your zip code on that side, too. When you get a chance, research your zip code. And you'll be surprised how much it'll tell you about the types of jobs and the things that people do. It'll expose you to all the different things. Okay, we'll speed it up to a little bit. So now, you got your community, you got your neighborhood. On the average neighborhood in America, every 3 miles, there's an elementary school. Every 5 to 7 miles, there's a middle school. Every 7 to 15 miles, there's a high school. There's a high school. Doesn't that sound like somebody playing it that way? Right? That's exactly. So I'm telling you, you're always working within those plans. You're always working through those plans. So take the time to really pay attention to the details of how your town, your city, and all those things are set up. Now, if the left side is where we go to school, where we live, what's the right side? Where we work. Where we work. And that's what I want you to do. He's going to scroll through. That right side represents work, a business. So the middle of the road is that path that we've got to take. And all these things on the left and right are the exits that we have to take. You have got to see what's on the horizon, what's next. Not be intimidated or scared or not fearful either of what the days will bring. I'm telling you, it brings amazing things. So that's business coming. In business, they call the left side residential, and they call the right side commercial. Residential is where we live, commercial is where we do business. Now, let me tell you something about those little silhouettes that I have on those. Those are actually buildings in Atlanta. Those are actual buildings in Atlanta. So whenever you're out around Atlanta, you can find those particular buildings. Those are actually in Atlanta, different places. Yeah. And you know the thing about those buildings, and I did not know this, as simple as this sounds when I was young. The higher you work up in those buildings, what happens? More money you make. Believe it or not, I did not know this. The higher you work in those buildings, the more money you make. Those are law firms, those are banks, those are government offices, those are medical offices, all that stuff is just those few positions. So if you are inspired for those things, you'll be surprised. And then the city is even set up a particular way as well, too. All right. This is what's on the horizon. We call this vision mapping. With vision mapping, I can take you through all the examples of ideas. That's what a vision is, right? It gets to let you see a larger picture. And that's all our whole goal is to be able to do. Now, for the sake of time, I want you to flip to the other side. Remember, we said this is a diagram for Atlanta. And so the copyright information should be on the bottom, but this is Atlanta. So you got 285, you got all the things. And as you see, Octavius has already put it up, Mr. Pratt has already put it up for me. Do me a favor, write those labels on there for me real quick. Write those labels. You see how it's set up. 285 towards the circle. If we up top is north, bottom is south, right is east, left is west. And on that same page, I still want you to write 6 million people. We got 6 million people. Now we're going to test and see how big your goals are, how big your dreams are, and how the world connects it together. We're going to see how unique the city of Atlanta is, too. 285. How long is 285? Yeah, but how long? It says 360 degrees. Yeah, but how many miles? How many miles? Unlimited. That's not fancy. Keep moving. That's a physics question. Yeah, but the thing about it is, 285 is 60 to 63 miles long. The inner lap is smaller than the outside axis. It is 60 to 63 miles long. It goes through 4 counties. It goes through 4 counties. Where it says 75 north, that's Cobb County. Where it says 285 northeast, that is DeKalb. Down between 75 south and 85 south, that is Clayton. And then where it says 285 southwest, that is Fulton. Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask, know that highway going to keep going until you go out to the other thing?
I'm going to give you a response to that too. He's already here. I don't mind it at all. Now, the thing about it is, this is what I want to be able to give you an example of. And see, think about it. We're in a room. Yeah, I can get through just the way we can describe things. I'm taking you through all these different point of views and horizons. That's how you got to open your mind up when you have teachers and professors and all those people standing in front of you. Open your mind to the possibilities of what they're saying. Because now, let's go on the journey together. If I get on 20 West and I drive till I can't drive anymore, where will I end up if I go 20 West? I'll pass Six Flags, Alabama, Mississippi. I would end up in LA, Los Angeles, California. Highway 20 is the second longest highway in the United States. The longest is Highway 10. Highway 10, which goes down to New Orleans and all of them components too. So we're going to talk about that here in just a second too. So 20 West takes me to the West Coast. What do you think 20 East takes you? It'll take you to the East Coast. It'll take you to South Carolina. It'll take me to South Carolina. I literally can go to Myrtle Beach if I go 20 East. All right? 75 North. If I get on 75 North and I go 75 North, you will go through Tennessee, and then you'll go through Kentucky, and you'll keep right on going until you end up at the Detroit District, where you need to cross over the bridge and go right into Canada. 75 North will take you to Detroit. It's not popping up on the screen, but Ms. Longworth is writing it down. So if y'all can't see them, you can even write each one of these down. So we're going to talk about another aspect here. 85 North. If I take 85 North, I drive until I can't drive anymore, where will I end up? You actually can. It does not go all the way. It'll go towards New York, next to another highway system, but you actually go up to New York City, you go up to Maine, and you eventually end up in Canada as well, if you go up to 85 North. All right, 85 South. I take 85 South drive because I can't drive more. You will actually go to the panhandle of Florida. That's the top part of Florida. It goes to the bottom of Alabama, and it comes out at the top part of Florida, around Panama City. All right? Now, let's look at 75 South. 75 South will take you where? It will actually take you to the bottom of Florida, to the Florida Keys. It will take you to the Florida Keys. And already, all right? So the whole thing about this is, now let's think it. Now, in between, where at the bottom, where it says 285 Southwest and 285 Southeast, there's a little split right there. I want you to put a little box in between that little split. You'll see Ms. Longworth kind of do it here. It's a little box right in that middle to see where she's pointing. If I've been in somebody's way, I should have been moving on that one. Next to that box, I want you to write the word airport. You can't get there by land. You can get there by air. Right? You got the world's busiest airport. So now think about it. Anybody want to go to school in California? You got to go 20 West. You got to go 20 West. So all my people want to stay in the state, right? You want to go to Fort Valley? You got to go 75 South. You want to go to Gordon? You got to go 85 South. You can go 85 South and 75 South. So if you want to go to, I got a list. I heard Southern Illinois, so you got to go, well, you know what? You would go 85, if you're going towards Louisiana, you got to go 85 South, and next 10 to go across. Depending on where you're going, when you go to Florida, you most likely hit 75 South. Yeah. You said which one? Florida A&M. Florida A&M? That's right, 75 South. Well, yeah, 75 South. That's right. So, you know, hey, 85 North, right? If you're going to Ohio State, 75 North. Your dreams wrap around every single thing you do. But understand, too, you don't have to leave the state to have the same impact. Same impact. One of the things that I want to be, we may have enough time here in just a second. One of the things I want you to really have an aspect of view of to the impact that some of the schools that you have here in Atlanta. Name me two of the best schools that they have here in Georgia. What is it? I'm saying Georgia Tech, the 80 Center, Morehouse, all those schools. And you don't, even though that's not where you have to, even though that's not where you start, I'm telling you now, once you get into that habit of wanting to be a lifelong learner, I guarantee you're going to seek out the best. You're going to easily move. just find a place for you to start. I don't care if it's a 2-year school or whether you're looking for a great 4-year school. It's each one of those things. The whole idea is this. Is that I'm telling you, set that horizon far. And set it, I'm telling you, set it as far as you possibly can take, and as far as you can imagine. Because for me personally, I tell people all the time, and it sounds so weird to be able to say it this way, it's not about how far I'll make it on the journey. It's whether I committed myself to the journey in the first place. And that's what you got to do, because people ask me all the time, man, how did you know you want to do this? I said, I picked a day. I picked a single day when I was young, 17 years old. I picked a single day to say, I'm starting today. And now that journey has continued from that time period. You don't have to wait until you graduate. You pick that day, and that day and that moment can be now. That's how this works. It's in that moment that we get that chance to be able to do that. And you find it within yourself. You don't owe no one else that. There's enough distractions. You don't make bad situations worse. You figure out that way of building and keep building on all the things that you have. Now, for the sake of time, and y'all minutes. We still got 10 more minutes. I tell you what, real quick, and these are the ones that y'all don't have, and what we can do too, is I want to kind of open up questions. We can either talk about some of the colleges. I'm going to ask you to come on up for a second, and do a thing. Scroll one down. Okay. Now, the picture of the United States, we don't necessarily have this as, the thing about it is, my niece has been interning with us, and I had to do a ton of research on where all the colleges were and what's going on around the country and how things overall work. What are some of your concerns about actually going to college, maybe getting jobs, working, and all those things? And we'll kind of open it up for a Q&A. And then I'll talk to you about how these drawings reflect it. We didn't want to give you one. Yes, sir.
Can you guarantee that when you go to college, whatever you want to take up, you don't like automatically get the job by ASAP?
No. What it guarantees you is that you're one of the candidates that everybody will consider. And you got to at least be in that door. You got to at least be in that room. Otherwise, you don't even have that option. Did everybody get a question? And that is fair. At the end of the day, you're playing the odds. That's what it is. And you're trying to put the odds in your favor. You're trying to find the things that give you a little bit more to add to the background of who you are. Now, when you get older, that's your resume. But for the most part, you've got to add more to the background of who you are. It's hard to imagine when you're 16, 17, 18 years old, the impact that you can have on the world at 25. It's hard sometimes to imagine the impact you can have on the world at 30. But if you never give yourself a chance to do that, then that never emerges. I read once that they say that all caterpillars don't become butterflies. All caterpillars do not. Yeah, some of you that come off. But you know the reason why some caterpillars don't become butterflies? If they don't eat the right diet, their body does not change. Now you think about this. What's your diet, right? Your diet is education. Your diet is knowledge. That's the way we do. We go to that metamorphosis to be able to do it. And when you go to college, you give yourself that chance to actually come through that process. If you don't give yourself that chance, I'm telling you, the streets is a hard way to make it. You know, it's one thing. There's street money, and then there's education money. I say this kind of thing to people all the time. The difference between pocket money. It's so easy to get caught up with everybody flash pocket money to you. But you know what I know about pocket money? That's usually all the money the person got. Bank money, on the other hand, trust me, you get that educated mind. That educated money comes along with it. If money is what motivates you, money is not actually what motivates you. My motivator is impact. If I have impact, then making money is not a problem. Money is a byproduct. It's actually a noun. Money by itself doesn't matter. Money has to have a lot of other verbs that go along with it. Any other questions or ideas? Yes, ma'am.
As I go to school, I want to major in journalism and minor in social work. So would my degree or certificate for social work still be able to do the job?
Yes, you know the thing about it, you got to get creative about it. See, the whole idea is, I'm glad y'all may have brought up a thing about a job. How many people want to be a business owner? How many people want to be, okay, that's good. And I tell you, I got another way to ask that question. But how many people want to be a leader boss someday? And that's usually the rest of the hands, right? So for those that want to be a business owner, they at least want to be a boss. So what you got to do is you got to look at the different aspects of a job. It goes back to that first drawing that I had, and we just didn't have enough time in regards to just describing it. On that first drawing where we have the jobs over here, let me tell you what I did when I was younger. I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do or be. Now, y'all don't hardly deal with yellow pages, but y'all know what the yellow pages are? I call it the yellow pages test. I'm dead serious. I call it the yellow pages test. When I was younger, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and by mistake, I was just playing around one day, and the yellow pages was in the house. So I took the yellow pages, and I started realizing, I'm like, wait a minute, that's a job. I didn't know. All of a sudden, I started looking through the yellow pages, and I started seeing names for jobs and businesses and ideas I had never thought of. So if you want to do social work, that doesn't mean you have to work for the government. Believe it or not, big time corporations hire social workers. In journalism, you can't ever go wrong. Writers run the world. Writers run the world. So you can't ever go wrong. So if you don't have strong writing skills, and I did when I was young, If you don't have strong white skills, I'm telling you, right now, I keep a little notebook on my Dollar Tree. And I tell people all the time, and this is what my little personal notebook looks like. And I'm telling you, I write constantly now. I write constantly. So you got to have some mechanism. How many people got a notebook today to keep it just like a notebook, a journal? Yeah, we definitely got to get more hands up on that too. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong. And there is no wrong way to have an idea. There's no wrong way to have an idea. You have to learn the process of actually running an idea through. So, brother, you're going to have to be a little creative. But there's nothing wrong with it. The doors that can be open for you, sometimes you've got to be creative in how you pursue those particular doors. It's not that, as sad as the economy and all those things are playing out right now, the thing about it is they'll say 10% of the people are unemployed. That still means 90% of the people still working. See, but you got to open your mind up. Atlanta may not be the place to go. You may have to travel a little bit further down in housing than you've done before. Any other questions, comments? Anybody else got any? Yes, sir.
I want to know, like, how is it possible that, like, schools that Alabama
Supply again, say the question again.
how is it possible that, like, church schools in Alabama, like, Alabama State University,
You know what? When it comes to rules just change and then a lot of times. So there are exceptions to a lot of things, but your counselors and the advisors and people that you have, let them find it out for you. I was very fortunate. I never thought I had this advantage when I was younger. I actually graduated from Marietta High School way back. And I graduated from my mother had remarried. My father was still in Tennessee. And so I didn't realize it until the counselor told me. She was like, oh, your dad lives in Tennessee. She said, you can get in-state tuition in both states. So I went to the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. And so, I thought I needed to leave home. I got accepted to Morehouse, and I was too close to home. So I left. And instead, I probably should have stayed here. But the thing about it, I still make the most of it. So you have to check with your advisors and counselors. You have to know, let them, again, it's all about the options and choices. You got, none of us have all the answers. I wouldn't even begin. What I loved about our exercise, by the way, I had a great mentor when I was young. And one of the things my mentor used to say to me all the time. First of all, she told me, money's not always green. So the guys who talk, I like that. And then the main thing she told me is, she said, you can't get rich in this world without making somebody else rich. She said, you can't get wealthy in this world without making somebody else wealthy. She said, you can't get successful in this world without making somebody else successful. Now, I'm a very spiritual person, so it comes down to me is you can't have a purpose in this life without helping somebody else with their purpose. In other words, don't try to do it by yourself. Work with each other, ask questions, let your curiosity, let your need to have a question answered. Let it open up your horizon. Let you see something bigger and greater than you can ever imagine for yourself. Any other questions or comments? Anything else? Just in general. Now, overall, let me give you some background. I know we're getting ready to wrap up. Let me give you some background on who we are. We're the King Street Management Group. King Street, and that's the key thing that we're able to see. What it is that we named our organization and give you an idea of how we even work. It goes along with the question that I was talking about. We have, for the main partners in our business, we all actually have our own separate companies. We work with and for each other. And we really do. If one company has a project, we go work for the other project. But the reason we made ourselves the King Street Management Group are, how many bars in King Street would you say there are in the country? Wow.
70.
Right now they say there's 770 plus Martin Luther King Streets in the country. 770 Martin Luther King Streets in the country. So one of our big goals is to figure out how to actually put programs and services on all the Martin Luther King Streets in the country. That's one of our big goals. We actually got a website dedicated to it called kingstreets.com. 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 And so the whole thing is to be able to help people grow their ideas. We do business coaching, we do executive coaching, we do life coaching, we do all the different aspects of just helping people work through their plans and their ideas. Their plans and ideas. How many freshmen have we got? Got a couple, okay. How many sophomore? Okay. And then junior before?
Ooh, wait.
So now, also, I've got to say that on the original part of the horizon, make sure you put down your graduation year, and then try to put down your college graduation year. The more detailed you are about your goals and dreams, the more detailed you are about your actions. The more detailed you are about your goals and dreams, the more detailed you are about your actions. And I'll tell you, when you're interested in something, if there's a field of industry that you're interested in, I tell people all the time, and this is one of the last things we'll leave you with, we kind of talk about it. I know my Okay, well then we may go to some other slides in a second and talk about it if you got time. But I'll tell you something that I do. I am always in someone's class. And I'm going to tell you what the trick is. And this happens for everything. When my niece was in school, I used to tell them all the time. First of all, I almost don't want to say this because it makes it seem like we're trying to help you do something. Just about every problem you have in school, they actually have a copy of it somewhere on the web.
Yeah.
And if you ain't got a
What's wrong with you?
it's out on a huge resource. We were doing computer and stuff recently, and every single question on the person said is on that, every single one, it was worked through. But let me tell you what I do though. Even now, what I do, I do tell people I go to Harvard every time. I tell you I go to Harvard everything out. When I'm curious about something, so if I was curious about journalism, I would put in the word journalism. Okay, I do this every single day. I go journalism, Harvard, PPP. What is PPP? PowerPoint. And you know what these teachers do? Or the professors do? When they make a presentation like this, they put their PowerPoint online. They put their PowerPoints online. So I literally can pull up their PowerPoint and study it if I was sitting in their class. If you're interested or curious about anything, I'm telling you, do that same type of thing. I'm just let your curiosity drive. Whatever it is, put in what you're interested in, whatever institution or whoever you want to learn it from, EPT, yes ma'am. Mine, you know what, aerospace engineer. Aerospace engineer is my primary. Young man, ask first. I asked what was the question? I'm extremely curious about how we make decisions and things. Oh, that's right. You know, as a matter of fact, I got the exercise. Glad you said it helped me out. I'm gonna show you something that I learned and then I added to it. I'm sorry. Turn it back.
How many years?
You know what I mean? Yeah, stop. So you know, and all of you seriously, yeah, stop. Actually, I have a very unique path, and like I said, normally this is all about y'all. It's not about me. I actually invented something while I was in college. So when I invented that, it kind of took me in a whole class. Y'all know those little clappers, the little hand clappers that you shake? I actually invented that when I was in college. Got a patent approved on it. Got a patent approved on it. It's a whole thing. But let me tell you, I didn't know anything about business. Just because you do something that makes a lot of sense and to everybody seems like it makes a lot of money. That's a whole story just behind all of it, just by itself. So, but I'm forever in somebody's class. That path led me to some great mentors. They taught me about planning and all these ideas, and I've done more of this than I have anything else. I taught aircraft electronics in the military. I taught on 3 different numbers. A lot of these planes you see flying around here. I actually taught classes on all those things. But I've enjoyed this part of it more than anything else. I love serving. I love serving. Now, to give you an idea, something I found online through my research, this is a very unique exercise. But this exercise is to get you thinking about, how the brain works, how the mind works. What I want you to do for a second is, I want you to think about somebody you like. I want you to think about somebody you like. I want you to think about somebody you love, really love. And I'm going to show you the power of the thoughts behind our eyes. The thoughts behind our eyes. Now, keep it in mind. Get a good picture of it in your head. Now, I want you to think about somebody you don't like. Maybe to the point that you feel like you really even hate them all, right? So you got who you like and love, and you got who you hate. Now, let me ask you this. Let's go back to the person that you like or love. Do you see them over the left side of your eye in your mind, or do you see them over the right side of your eye? You know what? It's never the same. For some reason, the biggest pattern seems to be if you're right-handed, the person that you like or love is on your left. It's not always that way. Now, think about the person you don't like or that you kind of mad at or even hate, right? You might even see it. I don't like that word. But think about what side of the mind are they on? They're on the opposite side, pretty much, right? They're pretty much on the opposite side. What I'm trying to show you in that exercise is the brain is constantly trying to take stuff in and saying, where does it belong? Where does it belong? Your mind is a library with a lot of shelves. All the information and books and knowledge and all the things that you have that you now here's the thing too. You don't have to acquire that. You don't have to acquire that just from a classroom. My daughter's 10 and I get on her about that all the time. I said, baby, real learning is all around. Real learning is all around. And you can have just as much impact on it as anybody else. The largest landowners in the United States actually lives right here in Georgia. There's a billionaire by the name of Ted Turner. Anybody ever heard the name? Yeah, Turner Broadcasting, exactly. He owns more land as a single person in the United States than anybody else in Montana. But you know what? Who's the wealthiest man in the world? Bill Gates. Bill Gates don't own that much land. What does he own? He owns intellectual property. Intellectual property. What's intellectual property? Computers, ideas, thoughts. He owns ideas and thoughts. The most important thing you can have an understanding of is how your ideas and thoughts can impact the world. I don't care if it's a song, I don't care if it's a poem, I don't care if it's a movie, a book, I don't care what it is, I don't care if it's an invention. Whatever that impact is, you've got to be able to understand it is within all of us, but you got to be willing to explore it. And you got, and I'm telling you, it's not an easy road. I wouldn't dare tell you this. It's not an easy road, not without a challenge. You're going to have your heart broken and you're going to break your heart. That is the way it goes. I'm telling you, that is the way it goes. But it's a wonderful ride. It's an absolutely wonderful ride. So you got to be able to see those, you got to be able to see those divisions on each one. On the map of the United States, my niece, Jen and I kind of got into a discussion about where different schools were. And I realized, even with the discussion with her, that I really did not know where some of the schools were. And, you know, when I was younger, I have a pretty good idea. Yet I played sports and did all that stuff, so you think I was known just from the college. I mean, just from the college playing sports and stuff. But the whole idea is, where are we playing? Anybody got a curiosity as far as, like, what schools, where are they? I know we kind of started on it before we can get a chance to kind of finish up with, yes, sir?
Bradford University.
Bradford University. Woo. Yeah, you know what? That was not on the list. What do you know about it? Oh, anybody else know about Bradford? New Jersey? I tell you, we'll find it out. We'll try to find it out. Bradford. Well, you know what it is? I see what's happening, which is, this is great because we need the list. But what happened with the research we were doing, we tried to look up what were the top schools in every state. The top schools within every state. And so I figured that would give us a general idea. What was the name of it again?
Fairleigh Dickinson in New Jersey.
You said that's where that's the name of the school?
In New Jersey, Fairleigh Dickinson.
First, so hey, see that? I was working together. I'm telling you, none of us got the answers by ourselves. That's great. Did you hear what you said? It's in New Jersey, but that's 85 North. You got to head up 85 North. Anybody else? What else?
LSU.
So what's the name of it?
LSU.
LSU, the Louisiana State. You know, definitely. And actually, it's not in New Orleans though. It's in Baton Rouge. And of course, that's Highway 10. So you're talking about 85 south to Highway 10 straight across. Yes.
I just said Marquette.
Marquette, that's Kitchen, right?
That's Michigan.
Yeah, Marquette. Michigan. Marquette. Hey, I love that. Marquette. Yeah. You said who? Columbus State. Columbus. Georgia. Yeah, Columbus State. Yeah. And she said 85,000. Columbus for 85,000. North Carolina A&T. Greensboro. Good. Huh? Canisa State. Canisa State. And let me tell you something else about asking these particular questions. The intent is, this is the other thing that I remember, I had to do a little yellow thing at this. I also didn't understand when I was younger, really, what schools were better at what. And that matters. I'm telling you, that really matters. Which schools are better at certain things. I'm not sure, but we need to get that down. So we're hoping Canisa State, you'll find it. No, I did not say. You know, I grew up with a lot of brothers. I'll feel it. I think for me, because I had two older brothers, and then we had a lot of close family members. But hey, to each his own. Seriously, I definitely would not. But for me, when I was already,
So you had like the best friends, and you had help others.
Oh yeah. I tell you, I love it. No, and I'm glad you referenced that. The people that I'm closest to, we're warriors, man. I say it that way too. We show up ready to do battle. We battle for our community 24/7. So the best of friends that I have, man, they're a lot like, we all like each other. We love serving the community. We love trying to figure out what does everybody need and how to help. So yes, sir. Now the internship, the exact same thing. To me, with the internship, you got to start. I'm trying to figure out how to bridge this part of it. What happens is when I was young, I didn't understand how businesses work. I didn't know all businesses, at least, and the ones that make the most money, don't have a cash register. The businesses that make the most money, matter of fact, those ones that I put on here, you cannot walk into these places as a regular person trying to spend some money. Now, there's one on here, and you just happen to have a bank in the building. But other than that, you can't make it past the lobby. You really can't. You cannot make it past the lobby. And I had a great mentor when I was young, and one of the buildings, I used to love these buildings in Atlanta. I grew up in Memphis, we didn't have anything this big. And so when I got here, I was like, man, these buildings are so fascinating. And the guy took me with him, he had his nice little pass, and he was getting me up and down on the floors, literally, you couldn't even get on the elevator without putting your little car thing on there. The reason I'm saying that is, it's called business to business. Business to business. What you can do is do internships, business to business, and then do the PPT, the PowerPoint, and then start studying business to business, how business is set up. What it is, businesses do business with each other. They don't necessarily do business with the public. They don't necessarily, say, come here, stand at a cash register, let's get this thing done. So start now. Don't wait for the colleges to do it. Don't wait for no one else to do it. You start now researching who has internships, and especially in colleges, especially in engineering schools. Anybody planning on doing engineering, they have a ton of paid internships for engineering. Yes, sir. I'm coming to this. I don't get make it from those. Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir.
How do you apply for an internship?
It's competitive. And she said, how do you apply for internships? Internships are competitive. There's just no way around it. You are going to be competing. You usually have to do an essay. They'll give you the instructions. A lot of the colleges have them set up, and as much as you're trying to concentrate on admissions, start talking to the admission counselors, let them know you're already interested. Start asking people, for those that, really at church, start talking to people at church, start talking to people around you, because they'll let you know what programs are set up within their company. Now, it's changing a lot. I ain't gonna teach kids. It's changing a lot, because corporations are changing who they hire and what they do all the time. So, really inquire around this. You know what it is with us? We're starting to do more classes around the city. So what we try to do is, and that's what's happening with my niece and our kids, is that we literally say, come on, we'll tell you what our kids is, you make it to those things that's on the kids. And that's what we try to do. We try to share as much of that. We can get you our information, send us your email address, and we're going to start trying to populate it. When people come in, we tell them get there early enough so we can show you all the behind-the-scenes stuff. So that's the same thing like today. And that's really what an internship really takes place, in the behind-the-scenes. And so make sure you get our information, and we can send us something. We're trying to get the Facebook stuff on. We got it all. Somebody else have any? Okay. Any other questions? All right. Now, let me explain something. With the map of the United States, jobs transition. I'm trying to max out the time. How long is the time? We okay with time? We good? Okay. Now, let me explain something about the United States. And again, and I know y'all have one in the United States. Jobs migrate. Y'all know what migration is? What's migration? Move. Jobs move. Jobs move 24/7. And right now, there are not a lot of jobs in Atlanta. Other cities now have those jobs. Anybody ever been to Nashville? Nashville is gone. Anybody ever been to Charlotte? Charlotte is gone. Anybody been to Raleigh? Raleigh is gone. Anybody ever been to Austin, Texas? Austin, Texas is gone. So at least for those that see in there, at least there's something from me. I'm telling you, you have to open up your mind to what's in the real horizon. What has happened is, in the South, from Florida up, about 3 or 4 states up, the South, it was originally agriculture. And then when technology came along, the South was actually second in the league, second behind only San Francisco for technology. We used to be a big technology city. We used to have a lot of .coms here in Atlanta. But when the .coms collapsed in 2011, a lot of those .coms just went out of business, and we never made up the difference. And so that's why we've been losing a lot more jobs here in Atlanta than we have other places. So jobs migrate. What are the jobs that's out on the West Coast? On the left side of the drawing, what are the jobs out on the West Coast? He said fire. Yeah, right now he said firefighter because of the fire that they have out there. No, technology. Yes, okay. Actually, in Washington State, in Oregon, we said fishing and music, entertainment, right? Entertainment is out there, there's technology out there. They call it Silicon Valley. Anybody heard of Silicon Valley? Yeah. Valley, trust me, it's in your cell phone. Every single thing that was made in your cell phone. And by the way, your cell phone is made up of about 45 different countries. It takes at least 45 different countries to make your cell phone. So the reason I'm saying that is you might have to open your mind up where you work beyond even America. You might have to open your mind up beyond even America. Yes, sir. And this is that computer chips are made out of sand. Yes, you know what he said? He said computer chips made out of sand. And the reason I love answering those kind of questions because, again, it shows you the potential. If you look at things just for what they are, you'll never see what they can really be. Yes, silicon is a type of glass. And sand makes glass. So that's exactly what they put in. Yes, sir. Hollywood? Where?
There's one in California, one in Florida.
Yeah, no. You know, what's interesting is when they weren't all that creative when they started naming cities and towns in America. So that's why really there's another Atlanta, there's another Memphis, there's another all these things. They weren't all that creative when they started naming the names. Yes, sir.
All right. My question is, if Bill Gates is the richest man in the world, and Steve Jobs and Bill Gates started at the same time, but Steve Jobs, he started Apple before Bill Gates. Why is that so?
Well, no, see, and again, believe it or not, to me, when he asked me, some people that's up front, he was comparing both Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. The thing about it is, it's so easy for everybody to look at them two people and go, man, they didn't finish college. But one of them went to Harvard. That's one thing. And the other one, and both of them got a ton of honorary degrees. In other words, they were lifelong students. They were lifelong learners. So, to me, that's why I say the past sets the rules for the future. The thing about it is, when Bill Gates was younger, computers were just emerging. And he in essence, was like all the rest of them back then. He was a hacker. So his whole thing was, he was trying to figure out, man, how do these things work? What can they do? But when he went to Harvard, his parents worked at IBM. IBM offered him a job. Instead, once he got to IBM said, man, we're going to let you start your own company. And so once he started Microsoft around the same time here, Steve Jobs was starting Macintosh, the original Apple. So he was starting Macintosh during that time period. Jobs didn't know how to run a business. He just knew how to create ideas. So Bill Gates came in and gave Jobs, literally, they actually bailed out Apple. They bailed out Apple. They helped Apple stay in business. And then he took his money back out. They bought him back out, and Apple kept growing. So they all had been knowing each other for the same time. But Bill Gates is from Washington, and Jobs was from California. So Jobs was adopted, all this stuff. They're talking about your past does not dictate your future. The whole idea is that you got to open your mind to all the possibilities. But think about it. And, people don't understand. Right here in Atlanta, a great example of that. When people get rich, they make other people rich. So when Bill Gates became a billionaire, he made 10 other people billionaires. But right here in Atlanta, there's actually an example of that same thing. What does a Falcon and the aquarium have anything to do with each other? There you go. I was about to say. You say, yeah, that's money. Let me tell you, who's the owner of the Falcon? Who created the aquarium? No, a guy named Bernie Marshall. Bernie Marcus and Arthur Blank, they work together. Y'all know where they work? Right here in Atlanta. One of the largest companies in the world, right? Home Depot. They started Home Depot together. And when Home Depot made multi-billions of dollars, Arthur Blank took his billions, bought out the Falcon. Bernie Marcus took his money, and he built the world's largest aquarium, $220 million. Yes, sir. Home Depot. That's why you see Home Depot stuff all over. It's a big old advertising thing for it. It's a big old marketing thing. I'll tell you, what happened is, when I was younger, my parents didn't work in corporate America. Anybody got parents working in corporate America? I'll tell you, don't take that for granted. My parents did. And so I had no idea what those buildings downtown do. I call them the towers. That's why I love putting them in pictures. The towers never sleep. Money never sleeps. I'll tell you, money does. They ain't got to move out. Money never sleeps. So the whole idea is that, but money again is not the thing that inspires me. Having a value. Money follows value. Money follows value. In other words, you create a value, and literally, I used to do this thing all the time with people. I say, how much would you tell me this pen is worth? 50 cents. That's about as much as anybody give you about $10 for it. Give me $10. You sure it's not worth $10? Not now. Let me tell you about my pen right here. Let me tell you about how my pen works. What it was is that when I was in, so we got to be able to wrap up though. So I was trying to see how much makes time. The thing about it is we're now a partner. I wouldn't share it with you one time. We're now a partner with Project Grad. And so this is our first intro. And believe it or not, can anybody tell how nervous I was? I was more nervous about this, and I've been in rooms where we got 300-400 people. And the reason why is because I'm telling you, what y'all are doing is vital. It's important. And I didn't want to get this thing wrong. I wanted to be able to say that we came to share. This is the way another part of our little channel, we say all the time, everything we do. Our thing is, I'm telling you, we came to share. We came to give. That's our whole process. We're able to do that. And then we ask one simple question. Did this information help? Yeah. There you go. That means that's the start of that space. I'm telling you, that place of thinking about new ideas. Pay attention to what goes on in the world. Watch the world news, right? Get in there and do some research. Ask questions. Do the little things. Take notes. I'm telling you, all those little things, they add up. They end up being the big things. And the rest, and set your horizon far and broad. And if all those are going to the moon with me, I look forward to seeing you. And so it's been an absolute honor to serve. And I want y'all to have a great weekend. Thank y'all. This is a card. You know what? And we get the numbers.
I'll put the contact information.
Okay, yeah. I ordered more, and Absolutely. I don't know why they come in by now. Yeah, but I'm told. Mr. Prince, I can see you.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank y'all. It's absolute honor. Thank y'all.
All right. At this time,